Thank you so much. That was so beautiful, Mark. Thank you so much. I just love when you uh, play for us, especially in these times. It's just so soothing and it's so comforting. Everything that you do, every strum that you play is always such a blessing. We just thank you. And for those of you who are just joining us, Mark, just stay with me. I just want to introduce you to my wonderful friend, Mark. He is a professional guitarist and he is a master at what he does. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Karen Carrington and I'll be your host for tonight. Mark, thank you so much. That was beautiful.
That was my honor.
Yes. And I meant to ask you, Mark, before you go, I meant to ask you, and right before we start the show, for you, why did you choose those songs?
Well, for me, Christmas is a time to remember our purpose here in life.
Mm.
It's if there was no hope, then what's the reason for us to be here? So, and for me, this time is a time of reflection, time of being grateful, feeling blessed, and feeling very considerate and compassionate about all those other people right now, in any part of the world that are dealing with very harsh circumstances, and I am basically here using the music, my talents, so I can just share from my heart and give
Yeah.
hope to people through my music.
And that's exactly what you do for me all the time. Mark, thank you so much for that. I appreciate and love you. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Karen Carrington, and I'll be your host for tonight. For those of you who are familiar with the Karen Carrington Show, I just want to thank you for your years of viewing. The Karen Carrington Show launched back in 2017 and streamed live every Monday night at 7 p.m. Um, I just want to thank you for being with me on this journey all these years. So before we even start, I want to give you all the thanks. Thank you so much for just all your support over the years. So tonight is a little bit special, and I see all your beautiful, beautiful comments coming in. Tonight is such a special night. Tonight is a night of celebration. Tonight is a night of restoration. And tonight is a night of reflection, a reflection of 2020. And I know there's been ups and downs, but tonight we're going to just be grateful and show gratitude that we all have a platform such as this to come together. And that's exactly why I created the Karen Carrington Show. I always wanted to provide a safe, judgment-free zone where we could all come together as one in community, and we could share our comments, our thoughts, our perspectives, our feelings, and not feel judged. And I've had over 150 episodes that I've produced where guests from all walks of life had shared their adversity, overcoming. There's been tears. We covered LGBTQ issues. We've covered sexual abuse. We've covered porn. We've covered addictions. We've covered divorce. And we all got through it together. And that's exactly what we're going to do tonight. We're going to get through this together. Yeah. So there's only 2 rules to the Karen Carrington Show. Nothing has changed. Rule number 1, you have to keep everything 1,000 trillion gazillion % positive. And rule number 2 is you have to have fun while you're doing it. So if you guys can do those 2 things, then we're good to go. So I'm just going to take a moment and say hi to some of you. Hi, Diana. I love you. Shireen, Sean Matthews. Hi. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Hi, Sharon Mitchell. I really, really am proud of you. Michelle, thank you so much for your jewelry and sponsorship over the years. Duke, I love you for your years of friendship. Miss Chrissy, everyone, I just love all your support. I don't want to miss anyone. I'm going to make sure and get to you all. I honestly just appreciate everything. So without further ado, do you guys want to do some cooking? Who wants to eat with me? Anybody want to eat with me? Because I'm ready to eat. So we're going to introduce celebrity chef Russell in the house. Do I have Chef Russell? What?
Yes,
What?
you do. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can
Yeah.
hear you loud and clear. I love
Girl,
you.
we're on CP24 a year ago
I
right now.
know.
Live.
I know. Today is our anniversary of being on CP24 together. That meant a lot to me. We celebrated Christmas, and you
Yes.
brought so many
Yes.
Christmas dishes. Happy
Yes.
anniversary. I love you. I love you so
Oh,
much.
I love you too. I love you
I
too.
love
I
you.
love you too.
And what we also
I
love
got
about you is your food. So get right into it. Tell everybody who you are and exactly what you're going to do for us today.
hello, everybody. I'm so thankful. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to everybody that's going on right now. I just want to say my name is Chef Russell from Penthouse Catering. I have a cooking school and a catering company, but unfortunately, right now, we can't do my cooking school right now because this is what it is right now. We're in a different pandemic. People don't want to come to my classes right now, but I'm so happy to be part of this panel and part of what we're doing right now for you. And I hope I can teach you a little things. Like, so I'm from Southeast Africa. My roots are from Mauritius, Maurice. I'm Creole, and I'm here to show you some of my comfort food of what I appreciate and what I like. So if you've never seen, I'm on Omni TV. I have a cooking show on television, and we introduce celebrities, and we showed them, or we asked them from our host with my girl Christina is, when you're off away or doing all these movies and stuff, and you're away for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, when you come back, what do you want to come back and eat? Is it your mom's food? Is it your favorite restaurant? Whatever it is. And the part of the show is I recreate that. And today, this is my food. This is my roots from Southeast Africa that I'm going to show you today. And it's so quick, it's so simple, and very, very cheap. And you've probably seen it in, depending on what your roots are, because what I've been surprised to see is with my partner, she's Filipino, she's like, we have that. And when I talk to my boys from Africa and Central Africa, like, we similar. And then when I talk to my Italian friends, like, this is chicken cacciatore. I'm like, that's interesting. So I want to show you and how to make this real quick, real simple, and for 4 people, it probably costs about under $10. So that's what I want to share with the viewers today.
Awesome. I love that. Can you hear me, Russell?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes. Do you want to maybe the fan? We're hearing the fan a bit. Can we just turn it down a bit, the fan?
Yeah. Okay, that's just my right here. I had that on.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's
I got
okay.
the hood on. I got the hood on right there.
Okay.
So,
So
anyway,
where do we start here? Where do we
were you able
start?
to hear that little intro?
Yes.
Oh man, let's get right into it. Actually, you
Please
know what?
do.
Let's get right into it. So I'm just like heating on my pan. So a lot of people don't get this part where they're like, you know what? You're heating your pan. You got nothing in your pan, meaning like butter or oil. A lot of people mistakenly what they do is they already put their heat. They already start their pan on the stove and they put their oil or butter. You never do that. What you have to do is you got to heat the pan first. Add your fat. It could be your butter, your whatever you want to do to heat it up. Your oil, your ghee, whatever. You got to heat your pan first because then you add your oil. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm adding a little oil, which is about 2 tablespoons for what I'm doing right now. All right, I'm going to let that warm up. What you're noticing is I'm not adding my ingredients yet because you got to let your pan warm up, let your oil, your fat warm up, and then, but because what I'm making today, I want to add my butter. So I'm Italian trained, even though I'm Creole and French, I'm adding my butter right now. All right, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the sizzle that's happening right now. Okay?
Oh, that's the
Over
sizzling?
here,
Is that the sizzling we're hearing?
yeah, that's what's going on right now.
Awesome.
Now, I got this on a low medium heat right now. All right, Christina? Now, over here, my cutting board, if you can bring that overseas so people can see what I'm doing. All right? Yeah, bring it over here. Don't worry, don't be shy. All right? So
Everyone's saying
I know,
wow.
I'm just cutting my onions. Just chopping it up lengthwise. All right? And then I'm going to add that in here right now. Now, a little trick. You hear that? You know, do I got to come a little closer and hear that?
Ooh.
All right. Okay, so to make my gravy or my sauce, what I'm going to do, so lado is a tomato-based sauce, okay? Now, what I want to make your viewers understand is that they're probably used to a tomato-based sauce for a spaghetti or something like that, or like something with pasta, okay? So in Africa, we actually use tomatoes very thin. But I want to ask your viewers, does anyone know where tomatoes come from?
Where tomatoes come from.
I'll
So
put it out there
guys,
for a second while we're while we're caramelizing the onions. We can put a question out there.
Let's put it in the chat. So what's the question?
Where tomatoes
come
from?
And what are we making again, Russell? They're just asking what we're making.
So it's called So it's very similar to chicken cacciatore. It's a tomato-based sauce with chicken, which I love because chicken is so versatile. Which is I want to do this. It's not you know. But what I'm saying is, sorry, I got to sauce my onions a little bit right there. Okay, so. It's not to be like, you know what, our people love chicken. I love chicken. It's so versatile. It's how we do it. It's how it is. But There's so many different ways how to do this, but what I'm saying is like there's parts of Africa because Africa is a continent number one, but there's parts of Southwest Africa that have debates between presidents and prime ministers where this is because the way they do theirs, when I get to that point, they add the rice and they cook it at the same time, and that's
Okay.
something I learned when I do my television show. But
And
even
Russell,
in
not to
Peru,
cut
they
you,
have
but
this
they're
dish,
talking
and
about.
parts of the Philippines have it. Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, I was didn't mean to cut you.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
we're having some answers come in, so I won't cut you. We have
Yeah,
Michelle
no,
saying
no.
Africa. We have Lori saying Greece. We have Owen saying China. We have Lori saying Spain. Like we got Kishan saying Chile. We're getting around. This is global. Like it looks like tomatoes are from around the world.
Okay, so no one. Okay, so I heard Greece. I
We have
heard.
Greece. I'm seeing China,
Okay, so
Spain, Chile, Africa.
how come I didn't hear Italy?
Oh, someone said Colombia.
Tomato sauce, like pasta.
Maybe.
All right. So whoever said Colombia is very, very, very right or very close. So
Jenna saying Colombia.
tomatoes actually do come from the. So tomatoes come from the New World, which is South America.
Okay,
Do you
South
hear me?
America. Yes, we can.
Tomatoes are not from Italy because I was hoping to hear something from Italy because that's usually what I get from my cooking class. Tomatoes come from South America. If you go to Peru, they have 1,500 different kinds of tomatoes. Okay,
So, guys, we're going to Peru.
there you go. All right. So I'm caramelizing my onions right now. Are you okay? Can I have my tomatoes right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it, bro. All right, so watch this. I'm gonna add my tomatoes. You hear
Ooh,
that?
sizzling with my dress.
Oh, girl, you always know how to dress, man. That's one thing about you, Karen. I love you. You know how to dress. You know how to do it.
Thank you.
This woman knows how to dress. Okay, so watch how I'm doing this. I'm just gonna flip, 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 and I'm gonna let it relax. Okay, I'm gonna let that go on a low medium heat right now. Okay, but the interesting thing about tomatoes is this: is it takes time to release its flavor. So you gotta add salt and pepper as you go. You can't put it in the beginning and say, I'm happy with that. It's as you go. Tomatoes take a lot because there's so much water in there. Okay, there's so much water. You gotta let it go. So what I'm saying is, you're not. I'm not gonna only season right now. We're gonna build the flavor, and we're gonna do it again in about another few minutes. Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm getting all that flavor in there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is I have this right here. Are we familiar with that? Do we know what that is? Anyone know?
Ooh, what is that,
All
guys?
right,
Don't
too
tell
late.
us yet. Let us guess. What is? What is?
So
Oh, let's see what they're guessing. Let's see what's coming in. Everyone's saying
one
it
more
looks so
time.
yummy. Oh yeah, let's see. Let's see. Okay, what is that? Oh, let's see. Okay, it's gonna come in soon. Give us a hint.
That is a that is mint, ginger, and garlic.
We're close. Lori said yogurt. So close, Lori.
Yogurt. All
So
right, no
close.
problem.
So
I
close.
love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. All right. So now what I want to do. Okay. So I know I do a lot of flipping because I'm in the restaurant. That's what we do all the time. But again, there's nothing wrong with using your favorite friend in the restaurant. Okay, which is Tom. Okay. What we always have in the restaurant is not this. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong to use this, okay, using the stir stick, but in the restaurant, we only use tongs, okay? So, sorry, a little bit further back. Thank you, Steve.
Can you
All right,
explain? Can
we
you explain
only
why?
use tongs. Because the thing is, with tongs, it's like a third hand. Like I have two hands, but my tongs become a third. So when I close it, I can stir, but when I'm plating, I can open it up and put it in my food the way I want it to look. Does that make sense?
Total sense.
All right, cool. All right, next. My sauce is going on. I got to add my chicken. What chicken am I using? What am I using? Anyone?
What chicken are you using?
Or what part?
What part? What part of the chicken are you using?
What part of the bird? What part of the bird am I using?
Oh, I'm going
All right,
to.
I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna start putting some of this in because I got my sauce is going on. I gotta cook this, and I gotta make sure it cooks right. So anyone,
Andrew says the good part. Andrew said the good part. You can never go wrong with the good part of chicken. You can never go
that's
wrong
what
with the
this
good
says.
part of chicken. You can never go wrong. You can never go wrong. The good part. Andrew is bang
You
on.
can't go wrong with the good part. You're so good, man. Andrew, man. All right, you gotta come
And
take my cooking class.
yeah,
I don't
Andrew's
know
good
if you
people,
guys
man.
know who I am.
He's good
I'm
people.
Chef Russell, and I own a cooking class. You can find it on Groupon under Chef Russell. I do a sushi, Thai, Indian, a cutting class. Sorry, knife cutting class and cannabis. So like, if anything of those interests you, it's very affordable, under $50. You can come and take my cooking class. But anyways, yeah, it is the best part of the bird, which is the thigh. Okay, so the thigh of the bird has the most flavor, and I'm doing it with the skin on. Okay, so let's just show them with the skin on over here. All right, so the skin is here, and that's gonna. I'm not saying you have to eat it with the skin, but it's gonna flavor the sauce and everything that I'm doing here and all that. Okay, so yeah, okay. I don't know if it's a good answer or not good answer, but there you go. All right. But there's any other questions while we're gonna cook this off? I'm gonna show you how to plate this and cook this and make it ready.
And so I also wanted to know, Russell, how many people would
Yeah.
this feed? Because just with everyone, some people are on a little bit of a budget with going on right now. Some people have a bit tighter finances. So how much would this feed?
I'm so happy you asked me that question, Karen, because you know what? During this whole COVID and everything that's going on, I actually wrote a cooking book during COVID, and my goal was basically was to show all the people that were running up in grocery stores and all that stuff that was going on. Hours of forget the toilet paper and all that stuff, but it was more like, you know what, we're shut down. What do we do? So I wrote a cooking book that had 19 recipes that fed 4 people under $10. So this right here, what I'm showing you right now, I mean, how much does some cooking pieces of thigh with tomatoes and some of these basic ingredients from garlic and ginger and some, I'm gonna throw in some of this right now. Don't which
And
is
Andrew
which
wants
is
to know if you don't eat with the skin, like if you don't eat it with the skin, can you use the skin for something else?
100%, 100%. So the thing is, the skin can add to a broth. So what I'm saying is, don't think I'm going to eat the skin, but I want the skin to use for the flavoring of what I'm doing right now with the sauce. So you can take the skin off 100% and take it off. I will show you. All I'm doing right now is extracting and cooking off one side. Now, right now, I'm flavoring it. And the beauty right now, okay, I don't know if you can see this, is that the skin will automatically rip off in about 5 minutes. It's going to come off. It's going to come off. So don't be too shy. Now, this tomato sauce, if you feel that it's getting too thin or too, well, it's actually getting kind of thick, you can deglaze right now with a white wine. Actually, you can use a red, but that's up to you if you even want to use alcohol. I don't use alcohol. I'll use a stock. I'll even use water. Okay, if my sauce is getting very too thick, because right here in my sauce, I already have some tomato paste with my puree tomato sauce, and I'm using that from the jar. So don't be shy to use tomato sauce from. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that you can use this. I'm gonna plate it on top of rice. This is not for a pasta. This is not for a risotto. This is how we eat this food back home in Southeast Africa with rice. And I'm gonna plate it with my rice, which is like a basmati rice. that's
And
it.
so why can't we do it with the pasta? Like, why would you recommend it?
No. Sorry. I'm sorry, Karen. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just trying to show you an alternative. Like, there's
Got
an
it.
alternative. That's all it
Got
is.
it.
That's all it is.
And I had another question for you. When you were cutting the onion, I noticed you were cutting it really like precisely. Did you cut that like that in a certain way? Like, I know when I cut my onions, like I tear up.
Okay, so that's a very important question that you just asked me, and I didn't actually bring it up in the beginning because I didn't want to take up too much of the time.
No, it's okay. We got lots of time.
All right, so what am I doing this right now? Because you said that, I'm putting my here. I'm bringing my in here. Number one, the viewers who are watching this right now. All right, onions. When you go to the grocery store, where do you find them? It's usually beside the potatoes, meaning like they're outside. It's never where you would usually put them when you come home. Now, when I get home and I buy onions, I don't buy them by the bag, which is like $2.99 for like 5 pounds. Because you have to understand something. It's a business. It's a business. So they'll give you 5 pounds for $2.99 because they know you're not going to go through the whole thing. And then that's why they charge it for so less, because they need you to throw it out. Now, onions, the best thing to do about onions is you should store your onions in the fridge. All right? Just because the grocery store has it up beside potatoes, that's not why you have to put it there. You should store your onions in the fridge. Now, I'm going to ask you a question for the viewers. Why do you keep your onions, and it's usually a dark room, dark place, something like that. But I'm sure you never heard to keep your onions in what? In the fridge. You got me?
I get you. I think
Every single cooking class that I teach my students at, and they get freaked out when I say this. I say this is a business. So, number one, if you never want to shed a tear about onions, keep your onions in the fridge. It will stay firm. Put your if you don't believe me, put it under your bed. Put anywhere you put it. In a dark, in the basement. What's it? What they call that in the basement? What they call that in the basement? There's a dark.
What do you mean?
Basement?
The pantry thing?
A cold storage in the basement. Don't they have something like back in the day? We used to have that when we used to go.
Oh, you had to go downstairs. Those when you you go down and get it. Scary, that's scary. And then we'd come back upstairs and say,
my dad would be like, go downstairs. And then you didn't want to go downstairs because you thought there was monsters down there, and then you're like trying to like, all right, I'm gonna run to the cold storage room and then like find the onion, like hopefully it's on the floor, and then run upstairs.
Don't you dare come back without that stuff. If you came back up without it, you're dead. And even before,
remember those days? Yeah, and I know everybody that's watching this, that's 35 to 40.
Did we lose your sound? Okay, so let's see if we lost Russell's sound. And in the meantime, while we're going to bring Russell back, I see so many questions coming up. Let's see. We're talking about a lot of garlic. So we are going to answer some questions when we get Russell back in. Okay, let's see if we can get him back in. So they're saying a cold room. Yes, Carrie, a cold room. While we're getting Russell back up, we're just going to go through a cold room. I remember that. And girl, we have to put like our slippers on in the basement. Rena says a cold room as well. Let's see. And I see there's a garlic conversation going on. So Andrew, I'm going to make sure and get that question answered about the garlic. That just looks so yummy. And Andrew, I want to know what's with you and garlic. Let's bring up that recipe. How about that? Tech team, can we bring up that recipe so we can have a moment as viewers to take a picture and get that recipe up? Okay, so I'm not sure if we could see that, guys. Yep, perfect. And so what we can do while we're here is we can get a picture, a screenshot of the recipe. Hi, Selena. So good to see you. Selena, thanks for joining. Hi, Joanna. what we're doing is we're going over a recipe. We have Chef Russell in the house, who we're just waiting to come on and finish a chicken dinner for us. It's a chicken dish from Mauritius. It's amazing. And Andrew, you're talking about the garlic. I didn't know that about you, but as you know, this show is a judgment-free zone, Andrew. So there's no judgment. If you're a garlic kind of guy, then that is always welcome. Lori, I agree. I can't wait to try this either. You know, Lori, you and I we're on similar diets that we do together, lifestyle. So girl, maybe one day we could add this to our list. And who else do I see up here? Let's just wait for Russell to get back. Let's move on to, let me see here. I'm just going to get a couple more comments, guys. And I want to know in the comments how you guys do your chicken. I just want to hear some ideas how you guys do your chicken. Like, do you guys like the barbecue chicken? Do you like doing wings instead? Do you like to bake your chicken? I really want to hear in the comments, what's your favorite chicken dish and how do you make your chicken? Let's see. Oh, hi, thank you. Thank you so much, Destiny. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about chicken right now. And here we go. Let's see. Russell, we were waiting for you. We're so glad that you're back.
Sorry.
What we're going to do is we were just talking. We were holding it down while you just did that break. Don't worry, bro. We were just talking about our favorite dishes, and we were talking about all kind of chicken and what kind of chicken we like.
Right. So were there any questions or anything I can help you?
There was one with Andrew, and he was asking about garlic. Andrew seems to be a garlic lover, and he had a question about it. Let me just see if I can bring it back up. He said, how much garlic and ginger did you use in that perfect mix?
I always love that question. I love that question because I use as much as I can. Sorry, I don't. What I mean by that is if I'm cooking for myself, especially when I was in a restaurant. So for me, so when you're cooking in a restaurant, it's very little. Like it's like that little. When you're cooking in a big dish, you have to be very sentimental when you're cooking for clients. But for me and my staff, they were like, "Yo, Russ, throw it in." So the thing is, like, you put as much as you want. What you like. That's it.
And how much ginger?
That helps you, but I mean, like,
yeah, it does. And how much ginger?
Ginger and garlic will be okay. So a tablespoon for me, my liking. Now you're asking me how much you like. I don't know, but I would put a tablespoon of each. Like, I don't even know what dish that you can make. Hold on, I love the question because I don't even know a dish you can't make without either. Meaning, like, I put ginger and garlic in everything that I cook.
And so is that just a personal preference? Yes. Is that a personal preference, or is it something that?
Exactly. That's a personal preference. That's a personal preference that I like. But.
And then another.
What? Tell me. Think. I'm trying to think. I can't think of too many dishes where you don't use both. It's
okay, got it.
A hard question. I mean, like, for savory food. You get me? For savory food that I'm doing today, like desserts and stuff like that, obviously not. But for savory food, yeah, you got to put it in.
Okay, got it. And for all, when you were just getting your thing together, we were just discussing about our favorite chicken dishes. We're all talking about how we like our chicken. I'm seeing Thai chicken in there. I'm seeing barbecue chicken. I'm seeing jerk chicken. I know you don't like to play favorites because you just make dishes like of all types. Do you have a favorite chicken dish?
Can I be very honest? How many people we got watching?
We got a lot here. Yeah, we got some on YouTube.
It doesn't matter. So I cook for a lot of celebrities and I cook for a lot of world leaders. Meaning, like, I go to the east part of the world, and they're always, and the fact that they hire me to do something different. I'll be honest with you. I show them Caribbean food. And I even show them jerk on a lighter way. that blows their minds. I mean, I show them food that's very Caribbean and very Southeast African, my roots, only because I'm not in competition with all the chefs that they can hire around the world. My thing is, I can't say it right now because I'll be cut off. But I'm gonna blow your mind. That's
I'm
what it is,
ready.
and it's very Caribbean and very Southeast African from L'île Maurice, La Maniaquinouqui Creole, and that's what it is. And I bring some Caribbean fusion and with our food, and especially Jamaican style. Even Trinidadian hot sauce is the best in the world, in my opinion. And I use Trinidadian hot sauce in my food when I bring it, and I bring it. You understand? Like these guys send me private planes to send me to like Spain for their man. Do your research on me, man. Go on my Instagram.
You're just
Penthouse
so
Catering.
amazing.
Like I bring my twist is Caribbean and Mauritian Creole food. That's what I
That
do.
is the twist. And
for
that is why
it's not the 1%ers, it's the 0.5%. I cook for the kings and queens of the world. Like you
and
won't
that's why
believe me
you and
unless
I
you
get along so well. That's why we get along so well. And you know what I love about you? My favorite part as we wrap up is how you plate the food. That is my favorite part.
as
This,
we how long we been together? As you're
we,
talking about, I just grabbed the plate right now. I just grabbed the plate right now. My girl's like, this is what, man,
it's my
girl, this is what we do.
favorite
Now she's like,
part.
yo, my favorite thing is what Russell just said, how we play the food. This is what it is. We're so supposed, no, you understand, everybody. Like, this woman, Karen and her team and everyone that you don't see in the background, all the stuff that are making happen. And don't look at me like this. And I'm not trying to take their time because there's so many people that are doing this that are involved. You know what? I love this woman so much. You know what? I brought her on CP24 last year with me, and I love her so much of how we do things. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna show right now. I just need 2 minutes to plate my food, and I love
Awesome.
you so much.
I
That's what I
love you
want to tell
more.
you.
I love you a lot too, Russell.
All
Thank
right.
you for being in my life. Thank you.
All right. So let me just plate up something here. Hey, buddy, where's my rice, buddy? What happened to my rice? All right. Got my rice right.
So this is a basmati rice, correct?
This is a more of a. Can you see?
Yep.
All right, my boy coming right now. If it's not too close, don't worry. I'm using my hands, but it's gloves. All right. There's gloves. Using my hand right here. And I'm using what I use to make this dish. All right. And here we go. A little messy. That's all good.
Ooh.
You understand? I was trained by Gordon Ramsay sous chef, and messy is good.
This
Because you know
looks
it's what.
good. OMG. Look at that. I love like the garnish. That makes it look so good. Oh,
But you have to
wow.
use the garnish what you use in the food. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Yes. Shane says just an appreciation and well done. Everyone says their mouth is watering. Thank you so much for that. That looks amazing. And one more time, what's the name of the dish before we go? What's the
I'm
name of the
gonna
dish?
throw one more thing. So it's a Mauritian dish. Mauritius, if you look up, and I appreciate you asking me because Mauritius, we're only 1.1 billion people in the world. I threw some of the time. The thing is about that I was taught when you plate a dish is that you use the ingredients that you use to make it. So which is a little thyme and of the herbs is what you should use. But anyways, sorry. Can you see it?
Hmm.
My
I just can't eat it. I
angle.
can see it. I just can't eat it.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Anyway, so la dope is a dish that it's a poor man's food in Mauritius. That's tomato based with chicken, beef, fish, whatever you want. And yeah, with the local herbs that we use, and it's so common in the Caribbean. This is such an easy one, and it's even used in Europe. So I'm so happy to use it because you know me, I travel 4 months of the year. When I come home, either my mom makes this or my wife makes this, and this is what I crave when I come back. So this is what I want. So
And
that's what it
speaking of
is. That's what it is.
craving, we just are all craving that. We crave more of you. We love you, Russell. We just thank you for being a
I love
part of
you.
this
I love you.
celebration.
I
I
love
love you
you.
more. There's not, and we have your website up on the screen. So if you guys want to take your screenshots and get Russell's information, Russell, there's never a celebration without a sprinkle of Russell in the house. I thank you so much for being a part of
Oh
this.
man. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to
We
everybody.
love you. Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Bye.
much. Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Guys, wasn't that amazing? Hi, Randy. So good that you're here. Janine, thank you so much. I received something from you today. Thank you so much. Guys, that was wonderful. Like for all of us that do Uber Eats, such as myself, I'm going to try that once, right? So now what we have is we have a Fiona, and Fiona's going to join me, and she's going to talk about some self-care because we're in a pandemic, and I know us ladies and men sometimes over the last couple months, our self-care has been dwindling just a tad, right? And what I want to encourage is some ideas of how we can manage through this pandemic and still feel good about ourselves. So I invited Fiona to this celebration so she could just give us some tips on how to just perk up a bit. And even though we may have nowhere to go, we certainly have a way that we want to feel. So Fiona, are you with us today?
Of course.
What? Girl, you look amazing. Can you do a spin for me? Spin, 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 spin. Girl, I don't know how you look so good in quarantine, girl. So you just take over. What are you going to show us today?
So listen, I'll put this down. So obviously, you know that there's a correlation between attitude and health, attitude and depression. And for me, because I don't know, I'm a fabulous 40. Can you imagine a 41? I love it.
41? Girl, I thought it was
So
41.
what I'm going to show you guys today quickly, Karen, is that we forget to take care of ourselves. We make it as if it's someone else's responsibility to make us feel good and be happy. And I think it was Maya Angelou or somewhere that says she don't trust somebody that say that don't love themselves, but say to me, I love you. And so today, what I'm going to do quickly, obviously, have me leaving my bathroom when I have to come in my bedroom.
Okay. That's okay. Let's see what you got.
I have some facials that I'm going to do. Okay, so, and the workout. So basically, when you have a routine, it really set the tone for your day. It set the tone for how you're going to feel. And if you're doing it at night, because not everybody's a morning person, it set your tone for your bedtime. You know what I mean? So when you're going to do your face, so normally I'll get up for example, say this is a morning routine or evening, it doesn't matter where. Always wash your hands before you wash your face. Not because of Corona. These are old time things, right? Wash your hands. When I was 17 in Kingston in Jamaica, a nurse I was working for, she said, never use your washcloth that you use on your body or anywhere else on your face, the cross contamination. So always have your little rag ready and go to dry your face. And it's not about a facial class today, so I won't get into what the products or what's in it or anything like that. But when you're going to wash your face, I find that we forget about our neck. So never forget your neck.
Okay.
You know, we want to age
never
gracefully.
Forget the neck. You can forget a lot of things, but never your neck.
Yeah, we forget the neck and go upward. You know, we get the sagging and the dropping, and of course we have to get old and we love it. But always go up whether you're moisturizing or washing. So right now I'm just using a bio gel that I use to wash my face. But keep that.
Why do we go up? Why do we go up, Fiona? Why?
To keep that toning, the toning in your face from sagging. You don't want to pull your face down.
Okay, so up.
Yeah. So you're upward all the time. It might feel weird because you're doing it yourself versus if you're gone to like a place like mine to get your facial done. sideways under the chin, pulling the skin up. And very important, for example, everybody is different. I don't like makeup. Other people might do, but it doesn't matter makeup or not. But especially because I don't do foundation, my skin needs to really be popping all the time. So I'm going to do that quickly. And of course, you have me bringing water into my bedroom. So I'm going to literally wash it off. And I'm waiting my cord. My husband is going to kill me. So obviously, you can't wash my face properly. Do not over dry your face. Take your cloth and you're damping. Just damping your face, okay? So now I'm going to mix this product. Let me get my water in it quickly because it dries right away.
And so now you're washing it off?
So wash my face product off. Are you able to see me, Karen?
Right. Okay, gotcha. Now I see. Yep.
Now I'm mixing this mask. It's an Egyptian rose filled with antioxidant, vitamin C to give you that glow. And I'm just doing it because, again, I want to feel good. I want to feel good. I want to take care of myself. We dress well to go to work. We iron our clothes. We do everything. But often we are forgotten, right? Or a routine for ourselves is forgotten. So right now I'm just mixing this. It takes a few seconds. And this can be like a 20 minutes each day, whether it's in the morning or it's in the night. Now that it's mixed, it's a gel. It's going to stay on my skin. Then I'm going to work out. Okay.
Got it.
So how are you doing? You good?
I'm amazing. Just, what I love about you is the products that you send for me. And ever since I've been using them and I've come to your spa and I just love it. Your products is what people ask me, like, what makes my skin glow? And honestly, it's your scrubs. Well,
listen to me. Just don't put that peppermint where you're not supposed to put it.
Okay. You know what? Okay. Let's all remember that for tonight. Don't put peppermint where you're not supposed to put it. I'm going to leave that right there. You guys use your imagination. Peppermint, make sure your peppermint stays where it belongs. Okay.
So if you can see, so guys out there that are watching, are you washing your face? If you're not washing your face, investing in facial product is a waste of money. Because you need to keep that face to cleanse so the products that you're buying can work and get into your skin. So washing your face at night and washing your face in the daytime is so, so important. And when you do it, just do it for you. It just feels good. So right now, like I said, Karen, I'm just putting this mask on. It's supposed to take about 20 minutes. It's hard to do it on my own because I'm kind of just looking in this screen, try to put it on. But it's going to be working. And look, Karen, I'm making sure I'm getting the neck.
Getting the neck. Okay, getting the neck. Got it.
So
now we're going to work out with the mask on?
Yes. This is not going to go anywhere. It's going to come firm and then I can peel it off. And so, like I said, it will be on your face for 20 minutes. Normally, you would want to make sure that your eyes are covered, your lips are covered. But obviously, I need to talk with you and I need to work out and I need to see. So I'm not going to cover my eyes. But when you're at my spa, your whole face, eyes, lips, and everything are getting covered with this mask. Okay.
Perfect. And while you're doing that, we just have Jenna who wants to know how you're going to order it. So Jenna, we're going to have the website put up for you and making sure that you could order from Fiona. So there we go, coconutvillagenails.com. And you're in Aurora, correct? But you do shipping? And you do shipping. Yes. Perfect. Yes. Perfect.
So Karen, the mask is on. Can you still see me? Because I'm going to step back a little bit.
I see you. I see all of you. This looks amazing.
So what I want to do is I will try to not use any weights at all because I love workouts. So we have weights in our home. So I might incorporate a little bit. But sometimes you're here, you might even want to get some devotional, right? So I can just quickly grab my devotional. I'm literally on the floor.
This is multitasking at its finest, girl. You got a mask on. You're
I'm
doing your
planking,
exercise.
Karen.
You're reading. Yo. Oh, so is that a plank? Is that what that is? Is that planking?
This is a plank. And if I'm getting tired, I'm coming high plank,
Oh,
low plank.
we have no excuse. If you could plank, math, read.
So in your book, actually the one that's
Oh, yeah, mine.
It says, I encourage you to share your trauma with someone you trust rather than repressing it. So right now I'm reading, but my core is tightening. My mask is dripping because I should have waited a little bit longer.
That's okay.
I'm here.
That's okay.
I'm here,
Look
right?
at
So
that.
you're doing this, now you can work out your sides.
Oh, girl. We're just
Right?
making some
You
music.
can do mountain climbers.
Whoa. What move is that? Whoa. What?
Mountain climbers.
Can you mountain climb and read, girl? I gotta see you mountain climb and read. If you could mountain climb and read, oh Lord. Ay. Mandy says you're amazing.
Right?
Oh
So you're here. You don't want to do that. I'm up. So normally I'm waiting, I'm up, I'm squatting.
Okay.
If you're a jumper, because I love to jump, one of my issues I have is that my metabolism is too high. So I lose weight too fast. And I don't
weight
well.
too fast.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm always working out because I need to work out to eat and to keep my weight. So right now I'm on my skinnier side. Okay. So if I want to do my squats, never do squats tipping over like that.
Okay.
You need to pretend you're literally sitting on a chair.
Okay.
So if you want to do squats, I can literally be doing this.
Yeah. Like Keisha just said, this is multitasking at its finest.
So I'm doing that, Karen, and my mask is working.
Okay.
This mask is supposed to deal with my fine lines, the rose petal in it, supposed to get rid of the roughness of my skin, but it's doing its job. I don't need to help it. I have 20 minutes. Yeah, I could have made my bed, but whatever, right? So now I'm here. I can do my lunges.
Wow. And as you're lunging, keep on lunging, girl. Everyone says your scrubs are amazing. Are they all natural? Like someone wanted to know just a little more information on the scrubs. So what's the
My scrubs are natural. We make them because when I opened my salon, I thought I need consistency. And what if when I'm buying a scrub, I can't find it? And I always ask people if they have an allergy. But how do I know really what's in the product if they say yes or no? So I started to make my own. It's been 2 years and it's fantastic.
Oh my God, yo!
So
Oh my God, girl, like this is
belt.
Okay. Oh,
got
yes,
the belt.
those are the resistant belts, right?
Yes. So you're not the one to jump and carry on like me.
No, I'm a jumper. Oh, so these are for the non-jumpers, right?
Yes. Take your book. Now you're reading.
Oh, what? Whoa. I think if you're a non-jumper, this looks even harder, girl. I'm better off jumping. Like, what do you
Right? If you're pregnant, there's no excuse. You want to get this pelvic working anyway. Sit up.
Okay. And that's for if you're pregnant. Is this for new moms? Is this for like just having
anyone? Because if you're pregnant, obviously you want to have your pelvic well exercised for easy delivery, right? So getting this part exercised is very important. And
okay.
Go ahead.
And for us non-pregnant people?
It makes us making better. Oh, Karen. So
okay, got you.
Now that pardon?
Yeah, we see you.
You can see me now? Can't hear you, Karen.
There's a bit of delay, but we got you. So yeah, carry on.
So now I have a ball because I love weights. I can literally just throw on squats.
Oh, dear Lord. Someone said that they're exhausted while they're watching, and we're just sitting here and we're exhausted, girl. Oh, God, girl. Oh, okay.
In the meantime, my mask is working.
Oh, you still have that mask on? I forgot about that mask. You still have that thing on?
The mask is working. But you know what, Karen? You're talking about pandemic, right?
Yes.
And we're connecting with self-care. A lot of times I've been dealing with parents or friends, relationship, not connecting. I get my husband to work out with me, then the night is different. The whole ambience is different. The same scrub that I talk about, if I'm not working out, I'm soaking. Just investing that time in you and get off the news and get off Facebook when you have to. Just the way you gotta do. Cook like this amazing chef we just had on. But it's very important. So by the time you're doing that workout, if you have a kettlebell, which is like one of these, you can work out. See how I have some fat here?
Okay. Oh, what? Oh.
This is like 25 pounds. Just go with what you can. Don't use any weight if you don't want to. It's all about getting the movement. There's a word called endorphin. Does anybody know that's in the life? Endorphin.
Okay,
It's
endorphins.
a chemical that the body releases when you exercise. It's that feel-good thing. So when you exercise, it really helps you to get rid of your stress, the depression, the sadness. So yeah, just little things, no matter how much. And never watch what somebody else is doing. Because that's what we do. Sometimes we're watching a video on YouTube to get some help to work out. They look super awesome. You get discouraged.
Yeah, we feel like we can't measure up.
Exactly. If it's one squat you can do the one and stop.
And that's how we feel about you right now. You see the comments. We're looking at you. Someone says that looks like you're doing it like it's just styrofoam, girl. And we're feeling like we were like, you're the YouTube video that we're watching and feeling like we can't keep up.
No, so do you. Do you. And again, sometimes I was saying to friends, even if it's just because you get up, being consistency is more than how long can I do it? Can I work out for 20 minutes? If you don't work out for 20 minutes, so be it. I sit down, pick up a book, but I'm investing in me. That's the whole point. I'm investing in me. I'm spending quality time. I'm in the tub. I'm doing something for you. So again, the key is, Karen, I think it's so important that we're not making other people responsible for how we feel.
Can you say that again? We're not
making others feel responsible for how we feel or how we're not feeling.
I love that. I love that accountability piece, that we are responsible for how you're not making other people responsible, but we are responsible for how we feel. And even though we're going through this tough time, we are still responsible for our own emotion.
We are. There's a book I was reading. I don't remember if it was John Maxwell or not. It says, sometimes how we see the problem is the problem. So I think in your book, you also say, if you can't fix it, what are you worrying about?
Yes. Yes.
Why am I going to lose sleep over something I have no control over?
You are so, so right. You are so right. I love that. And thank you so much you have actually all of my books. Thank you so much for using those references and exercising and being so inspiring to all of us. We have your information up there. People are saying this is giving them life. You're such an inspiration that everyone else is looking up to. People are begging me to ask you about a peppermint experience, which something is telling me that is a whole nother Karen Carrington episode. Something is telling me that Fiona and peppermint and pain. That's all I'm feeling. And so what we're
thank
going
you,
to
girl.
do, no, thank you. So thank you so much for being here with us. We have all your information. Thank you for reminding us to put ourselves first, especially in challenging times. You are a true inspiration. And most of all, thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being my life. I love you so much as a friend and a sister. Thanks for being a part of this celebration. It wouldn't be the same without you. Wasn't that amazing, guys? Honestly, I mean, there were some parts in there where I need to step up my game a bit, but that's what it's all about, is looking to others for inspiration, especially during these challenging times. We are here as a community on this show. I always want to bring people that can inspire us and give us hope. That's what we're all in this together means. Now, speaking about being in this all together, I have a powerhouse panel that's going to come together, and we are going to really hone in on some inspirational messages that we are here to hear. So do we have my speakers here with me? I have a powerhouse panel. I have Dan, I have Taylor Made Speaks. We have Susan all the way from United States of America. Look at this. Look at this. Now, this is, we're all in it together. So what I'm going to do is, guys, this is my power team, and we're going to field some of the questions that you have. Before we field those questions, I'm just going to go down the line and across. Susan, really briefly, can you tell my viewers exactly who you are and briefly what you do?
My name is Susan Schofer, as Karen said, and it's hard to follow up, Fiona. What does she do with peppermint? I'm stuck with that, Karen. I'm just.
We need to do a part two. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I was a private investigator, corporate investigator for a long time, and then I've turned certified divorce coach, and I help people travel through their divorce, get them out of their story, because when you stay in the story, you'll be in your story. So it's about going forward with your life, going to the best life that you can get to, because, that's what we have. And divorce is a transition. It's not, it's not the end of your life. It's a transition into a better life.
I love that word. Divorce isn't the end, it's transition. We picked up that you're a divorce coach and a private investigator. And that's why I have you in my life, girl. Everyone needs a private investigator in their life. Remember that, people. And Dan, my amazing friend, my brother, my everything, Dan Blackburn, if you could just tell everyone who you are and briefly what you do.
Hey guys, great to be here. Enjoying the show here, Karen. So big booyah to everybody in front here and everybody behind the scenes, because there's lots of people working hard to pull this together. So Karen, yeah, as you said, my name is Dan Blackburn. I'm a dad. One of my greatest accomplishments is being a dad. I'm a coach, a TEDx speaker, founder of 2 companies, National Training Centers is an athletic performance center, and also danblackburn.com. And we'll talk today about overcoming struggles and resiliency, but really, the hot topic that's really grown in the last little while that I speak a lot about is developing strength in your own process so that you never get sucked into the system. And we'll talk a little bit more about that today, but it's really about helping people turn their struggles, their fears, their setbacks into legendary, powerful success stories.
Legendary and powerful. It's one of my 2 favorite words.
Booyah.
What? And also, we have Taylor Made Speaks in the house. It's never a party without a Taylor Made party. So thank you so much for being here and joining me. For those that don't know you, if you could just take a brief moment and say who you are and exactly what you do.
Absolutely. My name is Taylor Made Speaks. How's everybody doing on tonight? Look, I am so excited. What I do, I change people's lives. That's what I do in a nutshell. Look, I have a vast experience in life. I used to be in the military. I was a federal cop. Now I'm going around changing people's life and getting them on the right track so they could be the best version of themselves. And that's what I do. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Karen. And thank you to all.
Nothing else to say after that. Now we know exactly who you all are. You should see the comments coming in. They're saying such a power team. For those of you who are just joining us, we're streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube. We're all over. So thank you so much. So we're going to get right into it. So what I'm going to do is I had some questions come in I get questions all the time. And what I'm going to use my power team for is you guys are going to answer these questions from my viewers that have come in. So Susan, I'm going to start with you, Susan. Okay. So I'm going to, and everyone, so this question is for Susan only. So Susan on my power team only, you will answer. And everyone in the comment section, the viewers, you guys can chime in as well. So it's Susan, Karen Carrington, and the viewers. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
So let's do this one. Here we go. Hi, Karen. I'm excited for your celebration tonight. My name is Melissa. I'm 39 from Florida. I've been divorced and living on my own since the spring when COVID hit. My husband keeps my 2 daughters with him because he says I drink too much. Personally, I only drink to get through the pain. What are some suggestions you have for me to get through this? So let me repeat the question one more time for those of you who maybe missed that. It's Melissa. She's 39. She's from Florida. She's been divorced since COVID hit. She lives on her own now. The husband has the 2 daughters because she drinks too much to get through the pain, wants to know what she should do. Susan, take it over, and everyone in the chat, chime in.
Hi, Melissa. I'm really sorry you're going through that. And this is, you hit the nail on the head. This is what I do. My subspecialty is parental alienation. And I've done a TED Talk on that from the perspective of a child. What happens when one parent becomes the decider? And it sounds like your ex, or soon to be ex, and you said you're divorced and you're living on your own. So why is he deciding? Why? Because is this something, and it's hard for me to answer this question because there's a couple pieces I don't know. Number one, do you have shared custody? If you have shared custody, children have the right to be with you. Their father is not the decider. So you get to see your children. I hope you have some kind of custody, and if you do, then you have the right to enforce that. And what he thinks doesn't make a difference. Your children have a right to you, and you have a right to your children.
Perfect. I absolutely love that answer. I'm just going to see the suggestions in the chat, and just bear with us just for a second, just seeing if our connection is still good. I'm just going to wait for my tech team to give me the green light to go ahead. So just a little bit of loss of connection. We're going to be back up and running shortly. Okay, so a little bit of internet connections. Let's just see what's happening. 1 second. Thanks for that answer, by the way, Susan. Let me just get my tech team and see what we're doing. Okay, so we're back on, I believe. Yes, there we are. Perfect. That's, you know what? Technology and my tech team equals success. That's what that is. That's all it is. Okay. So Susan, sorry for that brief interruption, but I did hear that if you could just repeat the last part for me, that'd be awesome.
The last part is that you have a right to see your children. And if you are the other parent and you have a custody arrangement, and this is for everybody, Melissa, I'm directing this towards you, but anybody who's going through a situation where your ex decides you're the decider and they make the unilateral decision to keep your children from you, they don't have that right. You have a right to your children, but more importantly, your children have a right to you. And so if you have a custody arrangement in place, have it enforced. He doesn't have the right to do that.
Okay, perfect. You know what? I love that part is that I see someone saying that she should join AA meetings. What do you think about that?
Well, if she, I mean, I'm always about people getting help. And I absolutely think that would be great for her case, because if he is claiming that you drink too much and have a drinking problem, if you're already in AA, that will help you. But how do you define drinking too much? Do you have a glass of wine on Fridays? Is that too much for him? Or are you, I mean, he's become the decider. So be cautious of that. And I'm hearing a lot of this during the pandemic, especially where one parent believes that the other parent doesn't follow the health guidelines in the same way that they do. Well, in just about every jurisdiction here in the States, and from what I understand in Canada, there's custody arrangements in place. Pandemic, schmandemic, you still get to see your kids, and the other parent isn't the decider.
And you know what? I love that first of all, the fact that you're in the States and you're so well versed in Canadian as well. You're really juggle both, don't you?
I have a lot of clients in Canada, a lot.
And you have a lot of friends like me in Canada. I just love our friendship. I love
churches in Canada. Hey, Tanya.
Yeah, and what I love about you is being a divorce coach in the pandemic. You're so needed, and I know that sounds kind of like an oxymoron, like, a double-edged sword, that you're so needed in such a challenging time, right? And so do you think when the pandemic kind of minimizes, do you think the divorce rate will increase or decrease?
Great question. And I get it all the time. And a lot of people ask me and then give me the answer. They're like, so what do you think? The divorce rate's going up, and it is. People are tired of being closed in together. And that's not what I'm hearing. If somebody got all the way, if they were in the process of getting a divorce, then they were getting divorced. And just about, the old adage, you're together too much, you're bound to fight and argue. But if people have a solid marriage, being together is not going to damage the marriage. What I am seeing is, and sadly, a lot of what they call runaway husbands or runaway spouses, where the pandemic started and off to the races, somebody leaves their spouse, and that's pretty tough. I'm seeing a lot of that. And so here somebody's been married 20 years, 35, somebody contacted me, they were married 45 years. And as soon as they went into lockdown, the husband hightailed it. He had a girlfriend for 2 years. In a lot of those situations, people could continue with this side affair and kind of keep it under the radar. But when the pandemic hit, they just felt like, oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And then the other thing, too, that I've heard is that people are reflecting. So even people who are not miserable in their marriages, but they just feel like, maybe they've had a brush with COVID, or they have had a family member sick or somebody pass away from COVID. And they're re-examining their life, and they're saying, maybe this isn't just, I don't want to be married. And it's sort of like the bucket list above the marriage kind of thing.
Got it. Yeah, got it. You know what? That's what I love about you. You're so knowledgeable. Thank you so much for that, Susan. We're just going to put your information across the screen, and we are going to make sure that we have a way to contact you. Thank you so much for that information. So thank you so much. Dan Blackburn, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to get right into your question. I'm going to move right into that. Jeremy, let's see here. Jeremy says, I found inappropriate pics of my wife and her ex in her phone. I don't want to confront her about it because we already are under enough stress due to the pandemic. Being in lockdown, I don't want extra tension. Should I wait to confront her? It's eating me up inside. So I'll repeat that again. Jeremy found inappropriate pics of his wife and her ex in her phone. He doesn't want to confront her because they're in lockdown, and he'd rather just not have the tension in the house. Should he wait for the pandemic to kind of calm down and then bring it up while he's not so stressed out? And guys in the chat, make sure we chime in as well. Off to you, Dan.
Yeah, I think that it depends on what his boundary is. Everybody has a different threshold, a different comfort level of what they're willing to have in their relationship. I know for me, if it was something that was a deal breaker, or if it was a boundary that was crossed, I would have the conversation in that moment, whether it's pandemic, whether it's family holidays, whatever it is. My self-care is my number one priority. Without me, I can't give from an empty cup. So if there's something, whether it's in my relationship intimately or business relationship, if there's something that a line has been crossed from someone's behavior or choices, then I need to stand in my power and trust that, yes, it's going to get messy, and it's going to be, there's going to be fragments, there's going to be turmoil. And that's the price of standing in my power sometimes, is that sometimes people around me won't like my stance. They'll want me to go along. They'll want me to bend and just move with the current. But if that's like I said, if that crosses the boundary for me, then I'll have that conversation anytime, anywhere. So I would invite Jeremy to look at himself and say, what is his boundary? And if he's at a point where, hey man, it's a no-go for me, then having the conversation as soon as he can would be something that I would step up to in my life.
I love that. And how would you suggest he initiate it? Like, hey, let's talk. Hey, like, how do you start something like that?
Well, I mean, the interesting thing is we're often taught as kids to put ourselves second. It's like, well, you don't want to say the wrong thing. The neighbor might be upset, or I say this oftentimes. I mean, when my daughter was 3 years old, she was ordering her own food at a restaurant, and if she didn't like her meal, because either she changed her mind or she got the wrong food or it wasn't prepared the way that she thought it would be, it was up to her to speak to the server. And sometimes the server might say, listen, you ordered that, that flambe. I can't exchange it for you. And so let's go through the difficult times. So I say to people all the time, when a line is crossed or there's something that you need to say, like in that great movie, The Bucket List, say what you need to say. And so for me, the question is, has it crossed a boundary? And if it is, then yes, in a calm manner, approach the person, have the conversation and say, listen, here's what I've come aware of. Here's the knowledge or information that I have. And I need to have a conversation and lay out what it is that, whatever your boundary is. I mean, that person is not going to change. And I've learned this. My boundary is my responsibility to support and to uphold. It's not anybody else's. And so if my boundary means that if someone crosses a line, then I leave, then the conversation could look like, here's what I've become aware of, or the knowledge that I have, and this is what my exit looks like. And or this is what's happening, and give the other person an opportunity to be in the conversation. But it's not a conversation that's going to be a debate of, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. I think I saw it. No, you didn't. I mean, if I know in my soul that a boundary's been crossed, then it's my boundary to uphold. It doesn't matter what someone else's opinion is related to my boundary. I hold firm on that, and I have the conversation the way I need to, and get that may mean that there's an exit from one of us, and if the other person is not prepared to leave, then that could look like me leaving.
Oh, I love that. And I noticed that Candace Lawrence said keeping it inside will only cause him more destruction. What are your thoughts on
our anger leaks out? It turns into resentment, and our resentment is toxic. It's poison. And so that eventually, whether it's passive aggressiveness, whatever the behavior will manifest itself into, eventually it's coming out. Whether you do it in a healthy way that respects and honors yourself, or it comes out in a way where, like I said, it leaks, it's resentment, it has that dirty disdain to it, it's coming out. And so, my opinion is I'd rather stand in my power in a little bit of dirt and some dust to get through, so that I can feel good about my own self, as opposed to getting into a game of resentment where in my past when I've been there, yeah, nothing good comes from that.
I totally agree with that. And what about yourself? Has there ever been a time when we were talking about resilience? Has there ever been a time where you really needed to go deep to overcome? Like, how did you go about it?
Yeah, I mean, I've had numerous times over the course of my life, and here's the neat thing, as humans, we are creatures designed to avoid pain, and whether that's physical pain, emotional, spiritual, or mental, and so we are constantly on a quest to like dodge it, to step away from it. And so for me, whether it was previously in intimate relationships or when I was a 10 and 12-year-old kid, I mean, your previous message came in there. I mean, I grew up with an alcoholic father. I know what it's like to be abandoned. I know what it's like to be in the addiction, in the illness that is the addiction, the family addiction of alcohol. and it affected all of us. And so there's numerous times that I've been in a situation where I didn't know, but I was passing by boundary after boundary after boundary. And at some point in my life, I rose up and decided enough was enough. And I made the decision to not do that to myself again, because the only person that's losing in that scenario is me. And so, you know, in the times that that's happened in my life, it's been a real deep dive. It's to look within me. It's to self-assess. It's to ask myself, forget about what it's going to cost me. Because, you know, it happened to me in an intimate relationship. It cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars to get out of that relationship. And it was the most courageous thing I could do. And it was the most cleansing thing. Literally, it was the most cleansing thing I could do physically. And again, you know, you talk about what happens when we withhold. I mean, at that time, when I was in a relationship where I was not being treated fairly and I was allowing my boundary to be crushed, annihilated, the doctors, I was physically sick. And when I left that relationship, I went to see a specialist, and he said, "What are you doing in my office?" And I said, "Well, I was told to come here, and I've gone through a battery of tests." He says, "Your results are negative. Like you don't have any symptoms." I said, "Well, the only things that have changed from the time I took this test until now, which was, you know, a period of 5 or 6 months to get into see a specialist, is I left the toxic relationship. I started doing yoga, and I'm working on me." And he laughed and he said, "Well, that won't affect anything. That won't change anything." Well, I know that it did. And so that was the impact of me holding on to my truth for better part of 5 or 6 years. And then when I did find my truth, when I found my voice, when I found my strength, that's when my courage evolved, and I changed physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually.
And that's what I love about you is that change that you made. And 1 second, I'm just hearing a bit of feedback. 1 second. What I love about you is that I remember that change, and you know, and you've just come so far. You're such an inspiration to all of us. My favorite part about what you said there, Dan, was it was cleansing. It was cleansing. Mm-hmm. And I love the part where Fiona was just doing her outer cleansing, but for you, it was like an inner cleansing. Yeah,
absolutely, 100%. But the inner cleansing happened through the work I did. I teach a lot about the importance of fulfillment. And fulfillment happens at 2 levels. It happens outwardly. So, you know, my fulfillment might be to have a great meal. I saw, you know, your chef was on before. Maybe it's sitting down with a beautifully prepared meal. Maybe that really lights up my spirit and I can connect to that food. Maybe it's being with other people. But it's fulfillment is also about going inside and looking at my own self, doing a self-assessment. And that never ends. I mean, I do that daily. And times when I'm being tripped up, I mean, now is a great example where I'm having to, you know, really sink heavy into my resources and my tools and my community of amazing people to get through those days when I'm feeling heavy, when I have those moments. And so it's a lifelong journey. And so my fulfillment in that level is about how deep am I willing to go? How much pain am I willing to sit in, to learn about myself, to see, to grow, to evolve, so that I can get to a place where I feel fulfilled, I feel joyous inside, so that I can have the strength and power to stand at my boundary in any relationship I have in my life, where I know what's a yes and what's a hell no.
So not just yes or no, it's yes or hell no.
You got it.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that, Dan. You know, I'm just seeing all the comments coming in, agreeing about boundaries, and boundaries are taking a stand for your peace. We have your website up there so people can get a hold of you, you know, because you just bring so much to the table, Dan. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you. And so now we have Tailor Made Speaks. And we have a question for you. And guys, feel free to chime in and answer along. Tailor Made, the question we have for you is, okay, this one is from, 1 second. Oh, this one is from Derek from Chicago. And he said, "Hey, Karen, love your show. I'm seeing this new girl and I want to know if, yep. And what we're going to do before we start, 1 second, is just going to be me and you, Tailor Made, because this one's a bit intense. So I'm just going to bring you and me to the forefront. Dan and Susan, I love you guys. This one's a bit intense. Derek from Chicago. Hey, I'm seeing this new girl and I want to know if I have to share with her that have sexual experiences with both men and women in my past. So guys, listen to the story question. It's Derek, Derek from Chicago. He wants to know if he's seeing a new girl, if he's mandated or if he's obligated or if it's appropriate to let his new girlfriend know that he has sexual experiences with both genders in his past. It's in his past. Is he obligated or is it appropriate? Does the girl deserve or should know before they start a relationship? TaylorMade, off to you.
My answer is yes, absolutely. I think that he owes that, whoever, man or woman, owes that to the other person prior to starting a relationship. I think in the beginning phase, maybe say the first day, I would say no. I would say get to know them, see if it's going to be a second date, right? But because a lot of times, sometimes I've seen people throw out all their information on the first date, and then after that they don't hear a call back because sometimes it's too heavy, right? Sometimes it takes time for somebody to get to know you and to say, okay, I can take it little by little, right? Some people might disagree and say, I want to know it all up front. So my advice is that if you're that person that wants to know everything up front, then guess what? Say it. Don't expect it.
Whoa. Let's stay there. Whoa. Let's stay there. So what I gathered from you is some people say everything up front. You know, I'm gay. I lost my mother. I just had a miscarriage. I have diabetes. I lost my job. They say everything on the first date, and you're saying that might scare the person away.
Absolutely. You're just unloading your closet. Absolutely.
And your trunk and your wardrobe.
It's heavy.
Right.
Some people is just casually just seeing what's out there, and you're unloading your whole, laundry to this person. So I would say just play it by ear. That person opens up, you open up. That person open up, you open up. Unless that person say, look, let's put everything on the table.
Okay, so I think that some people may want to put everything out there because they want to say, hey, this is me. I need you to know up front, because if we're going to do this together, I need you to know who I am at the core.
Absolutely. Right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you got to understand that the other person have to be on the same page, right? Because this is two people in this. You're both dancing. This is not a one-way street. So you might want to unload everything up front, but the other person might not, right? And you can't be upset that the other person don't, because guess what? It's the first date. Now, if we're talking a relationship, we're talking before entering into a relationship. Absolutely. Entering into a relationship, everything got to be on the table.
Okay.
Everything. Right.
So Derek should say, hey, I am attracted or had sexual experiences with men and women in my past. Do you still want to proceed? Now, what about that where we don't need to talk about the past? What I've done in the past shouldn't affect what my future relationship. It's my past. What about that saying what happens in the past stays in the past? Does that apply here? No?
Well, it depends, right? Because there's some people that take some things to their graves, right? And who am I to tell them to release those information that you want to take to your grave, right? But you have to really sit down and think. If it's somebody that I really love and I really want to spend the rest of my life with, can these things that I withhold that I'm going to take to my grave can ever resurface? And if it resurfaces, would it be detrimental to my relationship or to my marriage?
Oh, I like that. Okay, so basically that's how you can assess if you should say it or not. Because Fumo says it depends what happened in the past. So let's go with that. Is it depending on what you did is when you should say something? Like, how do you?
Well, here's the thing. Who determines that?
Right.
Who determines what happened? You see what I'm saying? Because I can say, hey, I stole a pen back in the day. And you can say, oh, that's nothing, right? But I felt I had to tell you that, right? So now I just put in your mind that I'm a thief.
Guys, hide your pens. Hide your pens. Everybody hide your pens, right?
Right. So it all depends. It all depends. I think that a conversation has to happen in the beginning when it comes to certain things, like maybe children, ever been married. Like, these are important things that I feel that should be shared up front, right? But like I said, if it's just in the early stage, maybe not, because like I said, you're unloading everything on this person that might just be seeing their options, right? And so if they're just seeing their options, you might not want to tell them, hey, I messed around back in the day, I was just experimenting, because maybe it's not going to last tomorrow, right? So why go through that? Why be transparent and be vulnerable to a person that you know tomorrow is not going to happen, right? But if you truly believe that you love this person and you want to indulge into a relationship, a committed relationship, my suggestion to you is that, yes, that conversation has to happen, because if it comes out later on, you're going to have problems.
And I wanted to go there for a second, because what if the person doesn't say in the beginning, saying, you know what, I was trying to get to know you. I didn't want to say all this stuff up front. I was just trying to take things slow. As Natalie said, it's good to go with the flow.
Sure.
And then it comes up and the person says, why didn't you tell me? You have me with you for 3 months now. I didn't know that you did this. So the person was trying to hold it in to not say anything up front. But then when they get caught about it, you know, why didn't you say? So, I mean, is it a catch-22?
It is a catch-22. I don't think that there's any right way of doing this, because if you say it too early, there's a chance you lose the person. If you say it too late, there is a chance that you lose the person, right? So you in a situation like this, and one thing about relationships and love that is very unique is that there's no right or wrong. You know, we have a lot of experts and a lot of coaches and stuff, but at the end of the day, you cannot force somebody's heart to do anything. And so, you know what, Karen? I love talking about relationships.
I don't.
Look, you know what? I don't change I'm a relationship coach now. No, I'm just kidding.
No, seriously. No, you've helped a lot of people, especially, you know, in your women's group. You have a lot of great advice, and that's exactly why you're here. And I noticed a comment came in where Fumu said, many times we don't do the self-work, but we expect someone else to make us happy. We don't do the work, but we expect someone else to make us happy.
That is true. And sometimes we're not over that, right? And so going into a relationship, you know, there's a lot of people that you know, maybe like the same sex and came out, right? And they're free, and they're like, look, this is who I am. If you don't accept me, oh well, right? And there's and they live that life. And guess what? Whether people accept them or not, they're happy. They're continue. But there's some people that is embarrassed. You know, I'm embarrassed that I did this in my past, right? And so now I have to find people that I'm vulnerable. That I give a vulnerable state to. And the thing is, would they accept me or not? Right. And it's hard. It's really hard. But like I said, if you're going into a relationship with somebody, you owe it to that person to divulge those things. If it's, you know, perfect example. This question always comes up in relationships, right? How many people that you have slept with in the past? Like, why do we ask that? It's in the past. It has nothing to do with you today, but we ask that, right? So here it is a catch-22. If I go there and I tell you a number, the number might be over your
limit, your
limit,
sex
right,
threshold.
And then now I'm mad at you and I'm walking away, right? Now, if I don't say nothing, then you say, well, what do I have to hide? You know, it's one of those dancing with the it's like you're playing tango, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, it comes to having a conversation with that person and kind of feeling that person out. Just like Susan said, going with the flow, right? It's like you're feeling that person out, right? Because like I said, if you divulge everything, it's unloading. You're unloading on this person and they're not ready for all that. You ever heard that conversation? Look, I'm not ready for all that. I am gone, right? This is too much for me. This is too much drama. There's some people that's entering into a relationship that have gotten over a lot of things, right? So they're free. So they're going into this relationship free and they want a refreshing person, right? And then when you unload all that baggage, it's almost, you ever seen, oh my goodness, you ever gone to the airport and seen people with 20 luggages?
And they don't match?
You're funny. And they're about to come to your car. It's the same concept of unloading everything one time, right? But if you see somebody with one bag and say, oh, here's one bag. Okay, cool, one bag. Or I have another one that's coming. Okay, another one. Okay, I have another one that's coming. It's like you're laying it on them easy, right? But still, it's still no commitment. But once that conversation is the commitment, then you need to say, hey, let me just tell you this. Now, you're right. They're going to say sometimes, why didn't you tell me in the beginning? Because I wasted my time, right? That's just something you have to own.
Oh, that's just something you have to own.
Yeah.
Can you say that again? Say it again.
Yeah.
That's something you have to own.
Yeah, something you have to own. And that's the thing. Whether people accept you or reject you, you have to own it. You have to own it. Because you can't force somebody to accept you. We want to be accepted, but we can't. You think that if you know how many times I've been rejected? I've been rejected so many times. I'm numb to it now.
Oh. Who would reject Taylor Made Speaks?
Hey, a lot.
Okay. Well, they're begging back for you now, right?
But the thing is that you just have to own it. You have to own it. You have to know your worth. You have to know who you are, and you have to be free. And that's the thing. When you release those information to the people and they walk away from you, or they say, you should have told me earlier, you just stay in a calm state. You stay in a calm state and you let them know, look, this is the reason why I didn't say it sooner, but I respected you instead of entering into a relationship with you to divulge this information to you so you have the ability to make the decision. Right? Because here's the thing, people want the option to make the decision. A lot of times you hear women say, I wasn't given the option.
I wasn't given the choice to make a choice.
I wasn't given a choice. I wasn't given an option to say, hey, I don't want this or I do want this. A lot of times if you are upfront and you say, right, there's a lot of women that would take a man that's been with another man in the past. I've seen it. I've heard it.
Yep.
And they'll say, look, you know what? It was an experience.
I have a man. At least I have a man now. Like, yep. I don't care. Right.
Look, he experimented. Kids experiment all the time. He experimented. He was going through something. And now we're living happily ever after. So it's just all about being honest with each other before entering into any commitment. And I've always said this, and this goes for a relationship. This goes for business. This goes for anything that you do. You have to lay the ground rules and you have to put everything out there on the table. So there's no confusion going down the path.
I love that. Always put down the ground rules. And you know what I love about you so much is you always bring so much value to the forefront. All the times you've been on my show, I think this is your 13th time being on the Carrington show. And the reason why I always have you here, for those of you who may not know, Taylor Made Speaks is my business partner. We do a lot of projects together. We don't have the same business. We work in separate, but we do partner in many, many things. And also, you're often a featured guest on my show. So I just really want to thank you for always giving value on the platform and always showing and sharing your knowledge. And as a lot of people are saying, the vulnerability or whatnot. So just your experience being on the show, if you could just share briefly what that's been like.
Oh my goodness. From day one, when I came on the show, first of all, for those that don't know, this woman is the hardest working woman in show business, okay, on social media, right? I'm telling you, I remember when I came to Karen and I told Karen, I have this message, but what I don't have is the visibility, right? Because I didn't have the visibility on social media. I wasn't doing what I was doing. And Karen took me on as a project. I was her client. She charged me. And I went through her boot camp. Okay. Now, for those that don't know, Karen Carrington has been nominated for the best Black Canadian social media influencer for 2020. Okay. She was nominated. And let me tell you something. The reason why I am as successful as I am on social media, okay, is because of this young lady right here. I sat under her teaching. She taught me and I took off. Okay. And although she mentioned that we are business partners, there's time and time when I come to her and she'll share different things with me and I'll share different things with her. But when it comes to social media as an influencer, she has done so much. She has helped so many children fulfill their dreams. I mean, she has brought stories upon stories that people in this kind of business don't want to touch. Right? But she has gone there over and over and over, and not to mention the beautiful dresses that she wears. She is graceful. She provide a space that is a safe place, and she does things like this. We are in a pandemic. Okay, we're in a pandemic. There's people losing their jobs. There's people losing family members. Right? But she decided that she wanted to have a Christmas special just for you. Okay. This is not like we're getting thousands of dollars and we're putting it on. This is from her heart. She has reached out to us and we're doing this for you. And it's because of her. So Karen Carrington from TaylorMade Speaks, look, I nominate you. Okay. Not only nominate you, I vote for you that you should be the #1 Black Canadian social media influencer for 2020. Man, God bless you, Karen. I love you. You are amazing.
I love you too. Thank you so much for that, my best friend. Thank you.
And look, make sure you guys vote for her. Make sure you guys vote for us on social media. Make sure you vote for her.
Thank you.
And she'll tell you where you guys can find where to vote for her.
Production team will drop that link.
Yes.
TaylorMade Speaks, my best friend,
Yes.
my business partner, my soulmate. You prophesize everything for me. You're always there for me in my journey. You vision things for me. You see things before I do. I believe in you. I trust you. I value you. I appreciate you. And I love you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. That was just really an amazing experience. Thank you so much for all of you who did nominate me and who have voted so far. I appreciate you. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy you. I enjoy spending this time with you. I enjoy giving back when I can. I enjoy bringing stories to the forefront and bringing us together like this tonight means the world to me. You mean the world to me. My panelists mean the world to me. And that's exactly why I wanted to do a prize giveaway for you to make sure and bless you and make sure that you guys feel that you are loved. I want you to know that you're loved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a couple moments to get your tickets out. I know you're going to need a couple minutes to do that. Your tickets, for those of you who registered on Eventbrite, when the post went out, there was a link to register on Eventbrite. I'm just going to talk a little bit slower to give you guys some time to get out your tickets. The tickets are in your email. An email had come out saying this, thank you for your order. And it has a order number in your ticket. And that ticket would have went to your email at the time of registration. So the registration to get your raffle ticket started this morning at about 8 a.m. So anyone who registered from 8 a.m. all the way till 8 p.m. when we started the stream live would have got a ticket. So as I'm waiting for you to get out your emails, I believe the order numbers have about 10 digits in them, and it usually starts with like a 156 or 157. I'm hoping you wrote them down or that you have them handy before we pull the number, which the production team will just do that in a, they'll just technically bring up whatever number comes up first. Before we pull that up, I just want you guys to know what you're winning. You are winning a $100 cash prize. I want you to be able to take that and do whatever it is you need to do with that, whether it is spending it on yourself, spending it on your children, if you want to pay your bills, if you want to put it in your savings account, if you want to just roll in it, whatever you want to do, that is for you. And if you want to pay it forward, that's another option as well. So Christmas is all about these great messages that we had, but it's all about gifts too, right? We all like some gifts. So we want to make sure that you get your gifts. So I'm just going to have everyone pull up their voting numbers. Oh, I love you too, Candace. I love you a lot. I really love you. I love you, Lisa. I love you, Sharon. Everyone on this live stream, if I missed you, I love each and every one of you. So I'm just going to give it a couple minutes to go into your emails. And don't forget to check your spam. Things always go to spam. Make sure, Sharon, make sure you have your email. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Annie. I love it. Christmas would not be the same without you, Annie. Thank you for being my life from many years ago. Absolutely love you. Mandy, you are so special to me too. Thank you for being here. That was the link that my tech team just put up, and that was the Eventbrite link. Christine, I love you too. We spent so much conversations back and forth, right? So much conversation, and I'm so glad that we got to connect. So production team, if you could just do what you do best and pull any number in any order. And if that's your ticket number, you could just send me a quick message, or my production team, just me a message, or put it on the comments. We have a lot of streaming. We got YouTube going. We got Instagram. We got, oh, wait, there we go. Hold on. What number, guys? Look at the scroll. Is that your number? We have the winner is 15642344493. We'll let it scroll across a little bit longer. Give you guys time to check your ticket number. Let's see who's, Let's see who it's going to be. Let's check the messages coming in. Oh, Janine, thank you so much. Yes, it was great. Yes. Let's get the numbers. Everybody have that number? Yes, we have a YouTube. Deborah Pearl. Deborah Pearl is our winner of 15642344493 goes to Deborah Pearl. If you guys just want to congratulate Deborah, just congratulate her in the chat. Deborah, we just make sure and email us on my website your email transfer, and we will just transfer you that cash as soon as we stop live streaming. So Deborah Pearl, congratulations to you. You do what you want to with that. Just Merry Christmas from the Karen Carrington Show. So without, thank you. So without further ado, I always like to end the show with two things. We're going to hear a little more from Mark, our guitarist, who just brings so much peace. And I know we all need a little bit of peace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close you out with an affirmation from my book. Where is that book of mine? There it is. Where's my book? I'm going to bring you an affirmation from my book, Pandemic to Peace. And for those of you who got their copy, thank you so much. They're free. They're complimentary. They're available on my website. I have about, there's maybe 7 left. 1,000 of them were shipped out. They went out to UK, to Africa, to Canada, to US. Thank you so much for the sponsors that made that possible. For those of you who have Pandemic to Peace, thank you so much. And for those of you who haven't received it yet, a lot of them got shipped out all this week, so they will get there before Christmas. So we're just going to bring up the affirmation. We're going to read along with me. And let's see if we can bring it up. Believe that the pain you are feeling today cannot compare to the peace you will feel tomorrow. The pain you are feeling today cannot and will not compare to the peace you will feel tomorrow. God is a God of peace. He's a God of mercies. He's a God of unconditional love. No matter what you're going through today, just remember whatever pain you're feeling cannot compare to the peace you will feel tomorrow. We are all in this together. I know times are hard, but once you have God in the forefront of your life, in the center of your heart, He will see you through these storms. He will never leave you or forsake you. He is a God of miracles. This too shall pass. These moments are lessons. They're lessons for all of us. And I know there's a lot of us that are hurting right now. But just know, whatever that pain is, it will not compare. The peace is coming. The peace is already here. You just have to feel it within. You just have to feel it within. It's right there. It's there for you to grab it. Don't let these messages that we are receiving as of late, lockdown and isolation and quarantine. Do you know that the word quarantine, the root word of that, quar, is 40. Quarantine, the root word of that, the Latin root is 40. 40 is a representation. That number is a representation of testing. Jesus was fasting for 40 days. 40 is a number of testing. So just remember that 20, which is the year that we're in, 20 plus 20 is 40. 40 represents testing and tribulations that we too shall be able to pass. So that's what this is, just to test and know that this too shall pass. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to make sure, and I'll bring up my slide really quickly for my website. For those of you who want a free copy of Pandemic to Peace, my tech team will bring up my website and you guys can go order there. You just log into my website and click on author. I have 3 books, A Fresh Start, Shame Over, and Pandemic to Peace. If you want a complimentary copy, that will be shipped out to you tomorrow. And that is the website under author, Pandemic to Peace. There is free shipping and the book is completely complimentary for anyone who is looking for some peace. There's about 5 copies left. I see some orders actually coming in as we speak across the screen. That will be mailed out to you. So remember that affirmation. Also, before we bring up Mark, who's going to close us out with the guitar, I just want to give a special thank you to my tech team. Without you, this is not possible. If we could just all thank in the chat for my tech team who makes this possible, who creates a safe space for us and is able to just navigate through technology with everything being online. My team, there's no word to explain. Yes, they're in the background, but they're in the forefront of my heart. Can you just bring up your slides so that we could just all give you a warm thank you? And I thank you. Thank you, Sassy Levy Productions. Thank you for always taking care of us, taking care of me, because without you, I break. Thank you, and I love you. So with that being said, what a beautiful night. I'm going to leave you in the best hands possible. So before I say goodnight, I'm going to pass you back to Mark. He's going to close it out. So I'm saying goodnight to you, but want you to stay on for Mark. For those of you who might have these emotions in your heart and you need to feel settled, Mark's going to take you on a journey that you're not going to want to leave. Mark, over to you, my friend. I love you.